The Orthodox Union is just adding some sugar to the top of the ice cream, because most OU synagogues have already put in place, way before the Orthodox Union introduced any programming, their own Yom Yerushalayim celebrations, which range from major lectures to films to seudos or other kinds of celebrations. What we wanted to do was just introduce an added dimension to what the synagogues are providing their community, which is a deeper understanding of Yerushalayim from a historical Torah perspective. And to understand that Yom Yerushalayim is not just a celebration of a new political reality and geographic reality for the Jewish people, but also has an incredible spiritual implication and consequence to us on a personal and on a national level. And therefore what we did was we introduced to the discussion of the Yom Yerushalayim celebration a series of classes by world-renowned Torah teachers who are each in their own way, based on their own preference of sources and perspective, a view of the significance of Yerushalayim to the Jew. For every Jew, there are multiple dimensions of their Jewish existence. One of them is very important, which is the national identity as a member of the Jewish people, which obviously has political implications, has geographic implications, and has an important part of what Yom Yerushalayim is. It was a major historical event that affected the Jewish peoplehood, and that has to be part of our acknowledgement and recognition on Yom Yerushalayim. But every Jew, regardless of their degree of observance or their background, has to also acknowledge that Judaism is also a religion. And everything that we do as a Jewish people has that national dimension, but also has to have a religious dimension. And I think that there are many people who view Yom Yerushalayim as primarily a religious experience, others who view it primarily as a political or national experience. And what we're trying to do is meld the two and make sure that every congregation in our community has a recognition of both parts of that equation and doesn't allow one to consume the other. The Yom Yerushalayim experience is symptomatic of an overall approach that we're trying to encourage, which is the integration of Torah study in all aspects of the Jew's experience, whether it be a celebration of an event of history or a holiday or even ordinary course life. And every observance that person engages in on a everyday, ordinary course level will be a completely different experience if there's a dimension of Torah study that is connected to it and makes the experience of being an observant Jew all the more rich and meaningful. And that's what we want to help facilitate. We have one of the largest birthright programs in the United States is run by the Orthodox Union, which is encouraging and facilitating visits to Israel and an introduction of a connection to Israel for those with very little Jewish educational background. We also have an enormous panoply of summer programs for Orthodox children who are already in day schools during the course of the year, but ensuring that they include Israel as part of their experience. And one of the components that is true throughout the Orthodox Union constituency, and in particular those who participate in our programming, is to continue their studies in Israel after they finish their high school studies. Many of them decide to stay on beyond that, and many eventually settle in Israel. And that's part of our entire spectrum. We also engage with Nefesh B'Nefesh on a number of programs to facilitate and encourage Aliyah to be on the spectrum of recognition of a role of a observant Jew. In fact, we recently had a program in the United States offering the availability of different places that would be more affordable than the tri-state New York area for Orthodox Jews to live, and Nefesh B'Nefesh was a partner in that effort in order to encourage and facilitate moving to Israel as being on the radar screen of what Orthodox Jews should be looking at as appropriate life plans.